Ron and I were young. I was in law school. She was teaching school. These friends said, you need to come hear someone who will change your life. We didn't know Landon Saunders then. But 33 years later, it's my privilege this evening, as we begin this lectureship, to present Lipscomb University's first award to my friend and our colleague and our brother, Landon Saunders. We drove to Winona, Minnesota that night. He didn't speak in a church because his mission is not necessarily to speak to us. He spoke in the auditorium of that state university with a tremendous desire to reach out with the gospel and the love of God to an audience that might not find themselves in church. Well, we listened to him that night, and then were invited over to the home of our friends, and he came over. And it is still amazing to us to realize the next time we checked the clock, it was after 5 a.m. He really didn't talk all that time. He probably did a lot more listening during that time. But it was an evening, a long evening, an all-night moment that changed our lives. There are two things about Landon Saunders that will stand out as we think about his ministry. One is a desire to communicate to an audience that may or may not be familiar to us. Landon Saunders is the president and founder of Heartbeat Ministries, has been that for the last 40 years. You may have heard him in one of our churches, but more likely you heard him on NBC or on CBS or around the world on Armed Forces Radio Network. And with that desire was a sense of being creative in the methodology. Someone has said, and I think it's true, it's easier to be critical than it is to be creative. And yet he has lived his life trying to be creative, using the media and using the medium that are available to share what is our to that message of the gospel. And so tonight, coming to us from Norwich, Vermont, a town that I visit once a year, and now instead of staying up all night because we're both much, much older, we have breakfast each year at the Hanover Inn. But I am just as inspired and just as encouraged after that 2-hour breakfast, and it's my pleasure this evening to present this very special award to Landon Saunders. Would you please welcome him as he comes to the stage? Thank you. Let me share with you the award that we are going to present to Landon this evening. This is a new award for Lipscomb University, at least in name. It is not new for us to honor people, but the award here, I hope, symbolizes the life that the people who have received it and will receive it have reflected. It is called the Kopio Award, and unless you're a Greek scholar, you don't know what that word means. But if I can loosely translate it from my friends who are Greek scholars, it essentially means work to the point of utter exhaustion for the glory of God. Paul, in writing to the church, the Colossian letter, said, "To this end I labor," that's the Greek word, "struggling with all energy which so powerfully works within me." And so this evening we give to Landon Saunders the Kopio Award, recognizing distinguished service for the kingdom of God. Landon, for your years of service as a minister of the gospel of Christ, for your gift of communicating the reality of God powerfully through his inspired word, for your significant contributions to real-world evangelism, sharing hope and encouragement with millions through media and innovative methods, for nearly 4 decades of vision and leadership as the founder and president of Heartbeat, and with gratitude for your faithfulness and with admiration for a lifetime of steadfastness to the great cause of Jesus Christ. This is presented on Wednesday, the first day of July at Lipscomb's 82nd Annual Bible Lectures, Summer Celebration 2009.
I just told Randy that I really have had more experience being called on the carpet than I have being honored on the carpet. Thank you, Dr. Lowry, for this award, and thank all of you who've made this possible. And I can really only accept this on behalf of our own religious tradition, who first taught me through the Great Commission the importance of every human being on the face of the earth, and that we bear some responsibility to one another and to all the peoples of the earth. I also would like to accept this tonight on behalf of the outsider, those who are outside our walls tonight in their loneliness and sometimes despair, who are yearning for light and for love and for acceptance and, yes, for forgiveness. And I'd like to accept this on behalf of all of those who from the beginning have supported this work as it's tried to reach to the outside with your prayers and your money, your encouragement. I don't know how we would have survived without it. And Nashville, some of you are here in the audience tonight who have been with us from the beginning. Nashville has been one of our greatest cities of support and encouragement, and so I'm thankful for that. And then finally, on behalf of the future, that we have a generation coming to adulthood today in a very different world from the world in which I came to adulthood. And I want to devote a great portion of the remainder of my life to saying something of significance that would be helpful to them to find their way, as well as to others. And it's really in that spirit that I'm so thrilled to be here tonight and to salute my friend and colleague as of today, Mike Cope, who in his own vision and heart finally came to the decision to join me as a partner in the work of Heartbeat. And so I get to, on his first day of employment, to say to Mike, welcome, Mike, to Heartbeat. And so thank you for all the joy that we've shared through these years and for the joy that fills this auditorium tonight. Thank you.